We're talking about elementary financial controls that are necessary for any company to function. So, like, if the federal government, if a commercial company operated the way the federal government does, then it would be immediately go bankrupt. It would be delisted. The officers would be arrested. And the changes we're putting in place will enable the federal government to pass an audit. It will enable taxpayers to know where the money is going and know that their hard-earned tax dollars are being spent well. For example, there were over $300 million of Small Business Administration loans that has been given out to people under the age of 11. The youngest recipient of a Small Business Administration loan is a 9-month-old.
If you think back all the way to 2016, one of the reasons Donald Trump was elected, aside from the wide open border and the horrible economic policies under Obama, right, it was because we wanted someone to run the government like a business. For decades, we've been saying that, yes, government is inefficient. It's full of waste. And now that Donald Trump is in office, we're finally doing something about it with Doge. And here I want to show you the highlights of an in-depth interview between Bret Baier, Elon Musk, and the rest of the Doge team. But before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
I'm going to talk to all the guys here about the specifics, but for you, what's the most astonishing thing you've found out in this process?
The sheer amount of waste and fraud in the government. It is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. We routinely encounter wastes of $1 billion or more, casually. For example, like the simple survey that was literally a 10-question survey that you could do with SurveyMonkey, cost you about $10,000, the government was being charged almost $1 billion for that.
For just the survey? $1
billion for a simple online survey, do you like the national park? And then there appeared to be no feedback loop for what would be done with that survey. So the survey would just go into nothing. It was like insane.
There's a lot of mystery about Social Security and a lot of words about it here's what Democrats have been saying about it.
It's absurd that Elon Musk is trying to eliminate billions of dollars from Social Security.
Elon Musk and President Trump have set their sights on cutting Social Security.
Their goal is clear: destroy Social Security from within.
You're in the building. I mean, you're in the computers. What's happening there? What are you doing?
Yeah, it doesn't line up with my experience on the ground. And I'll say the two improvements that we're trying to make to Social Security are helping people that legitimately get benefits, protecting them from fraud that they experience every day on a routine basis, and also make the experience better. And I'll give you one example is at Social Security, one of the first things we learned is that they get phone calls every day of people trying to change direct deposit information. So when you want to change your bank account, you can call Social Security. We learned 40% of the phone calls that they get are from fraudsters.
40%?
That's right. Almost half.
Yes, and they steal people's Social Security is what happens. Is they call in, they say, they claim to be a retiree, then they convince the Social Security person on the phone to change where the money's flowing. It actually goes to some fraudster. This is happening all day, every day. And then somebody doesn't receive their Social Security. It's because of all the fraud loopholes in the Social Security system.
How do you reassure people that what you all are doing is not going to affect their benefits?
No, in fact, what we're doing will help their benefits. Legitimate people, as a result of the work of Doge, will receive more Social Security, not less. I want to emphasize that. As a result of the work of Doge, legitimate recipients of Social Security will receive more money, not less money.
All right.
I want to emphasize that point and let the record show that I said this.
So when you think about waste in the federal government, you have to kind of wonder, how many operations are there like the survey that Elon Musk mentioned, right? Something that cost massive amounts of money that could have been handled for a few $1,000s, and the information actually would have gone somewhere, right? Instead of to a black hole. Millions of people could have responded to that survey, but it wouldn't have mattered because the information led to nothing. All right. And whose pockets were being lined with all of that money? Who created the website? Who made the survey? Who was supposed to collect the data, right? Was this a no-show paid job? And the only way we're going to uncover this is by actually looking into it, which of course is what the Doge team is doing. But also more surprisingly, yes, when it comes to Social Security, 40% of all calls to the Social Security office are basically fraudsters. trying to take away people's livelihoods, right? That's what we're trying to stop. But the Democrats, what do they want? Oh, we have to, of course, not let Elon Musk look into this because they're trying to cut the programs. No, and as Elon Musk actually says, we're probably going to get people more money, right? Are they actually getting their increases like they're supposed to be? Are they actually not getting their checks because it's been stolen by somebody else, right? That's what we're talking about. Updating the system, making everything more modern and hopefully much more secure for the users.
Brad Smith, working at HHS, and obviously another element is Medicare and Medicaid, NIH. What are you finding?
Yeah, well, I'd say there's a couple of things we're really committed to in our work at HHS. Number one, making sure we continue to have the best biomedical research in the world. And number two, making sure, which President Trump has said over and over again, that we 100% protect Medicare and Medicaid. But there's a lot of opportunity. So if I take NIH as an example, today, if you're an NIH researcher and you get a $100 grant at your university, today you get to spend 60 of that and your university spends 40 of that. The policy that we're proposing to make is that you get to spend 85 of that and your university spends 15. So that's more money going directly to the scientists who are discovering new cures. Another example at NIH is today they have 27 different centers. They got created over time by Congress, and they're typically by disease state or body system. There's 700 different IT systems today at NIH.
700 different IT systems.
IT software systems.
They
can't speak to each other.
So they don't talk to one another.
They have 27 different CIOs. And so when you think about making great medical discoveries, you have to connect the data.
Time out. You said 27 different chief information officers?
Correct.
And most of them are non-technical.
So there's a lot there.
There's a lot of opportunity. It will make science better, not worse.
And when I say that our job is tech support, I really mean it.
Yeah.
We have to fix the computers. If the computers can't talk to each other, you can't get research done. If the computers can't stay online, people won't receive their Social Security. So what we have here are a bunch of failing computer systems that are preventing people from receiving their benefits, that are preventing people from preventing research from happening, that are extremely vulnerable to fraud, and we're fixing it.
Anthony Armstrong, Doge, Office of Personnel Management, you're a Morgan Stanley banker, M&A guy.
Yeah.
You know money, and this is a lot of money sloshing around.
There's a lot of money sloshing around. There's a lot of money sloshing out the door. And if you look at the federal government and the way the workforce works, it's really a one-way ratchet over decades. So
it's only going up.
It's only going up. You never take it away. So that leaves you with duplicative functions, it leaves you with overstaffing, and it leaves you with functions in the wrong places. So a couple of examples. Duplicative functions. Brad mentioned 27 CIOs. If you kept going with Brad, he would talk about the communications office. I think you've got 40 distinct communications offices in HHS, right? Yeah.
40?
Yeah, and that's not unusual, by the way. Multiple offices like that.
It's also not making anyone healthy.
This is not about the employees there. There's many hardworking, well-meaning people who took these jobs. These jobs were out there. They applied for them. They took them. They're doing what's there. It's just that they're duplicating the effort of 40 offices. So you've got that. You've got overstaffing. A good example of overstaffing would be the IRS has got 1,400 people who are dedicated to provisioning laptops and cell phones. So if you join the IRS, you get a laptop and a cell phone, you're provisioned. So if each of those IRS officers or employees provisioned 2 employees per day, you could provision the entire IRS in a little more than a month. So 12 times a year, you can
re-provision. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you have 1,400 people whose only job it is to give out a laptop and a phone?
Right. The whole IRS could be handled once a month. So that doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly the point. Government never seems to get smaller, and now we know why, right? It's the redundancy. You have multiples of agencies, multiples of employees, all assigned to do the same basic tasks. So why not simplify the whole thing? Why not streamline it? Why not bring everything under one CIO instead of 27? Why do we have 700 different systems to keep track of? Why not put it all together, right? This is exactly what Elon Musk is talking about. We can simplify it. We can make it much easier and much safer and much more secure all at the same time. And yeah, as far as the IRS is concerned, get rid of those 1,400 employees whose only job is to hand out a laptop and a cell phone. Holy crap, how many people does it take to do that job? This is like flipping burgers at this point, although I bet their benefits and pay is much, much better.
Tom Krause, working at Treasury, you are having access to the payment system, oversees all the outgoing payments. Essentially, those payments were going places we didn't know where they were going, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case, Brett. As an ex-CFO of a big public tech company, really what we're doing is we're applying public company standards to the federal government. And it is alarming how the financial operations and financial management is set up today. There is actually really only one bank account that's used to disperse all monies that go out. So when you hear, some of my colleagues here, what they're talking about in terms of the fraud, you have to ask, well, why is this allowed to happen at a financial level? Well, it's actually quite simple but alarming. The Treasury up until now, and thanks to President Trump, we're fixing this. In fact, there's an executive order that he just signed the other day, which is protecting America's bank account, because it really is the taxpayers' money. One, we're changing the culture. The culture is been not a lot of caring and not a lot of commitment to doing what's right relative to financial operations. There's $500 billion of fraud every year. There's hundreds of billions of dollars of improper payments, and we can't pass an audit.
In order to pass an audit, you need the information necessary to pass an audit. You need to have the payment codes, you need to have the payment explanation, and you need to have a person you can contact to understand why that payment was made. None of those things were mandatory until just recently, just a few weeks ago. In fact, maybe last week?
Yeah, we're serving 580 plus agencies. And up until very recently, effectively they could say make the payment and Treasury just sent it out as fast as possible.
Is the battle between government of decades of buildup and business, which you guys are, is that like a train hitting each other? I mean, it seems like it's pretty disruptive.
Well, this is a revolution, and I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape. America will be solvent. The critical programs that people depend upon will work, and it's going to be a fantastic future. But are we going to get a lot of complaints along the way? Absolutely. One of the things I learned at PayPal was who complains the loudest and with the most amount of fake righteous indignation? The fraudsters. It's a tell. There's some of these NGOs that are crazy, like the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams' NGO that basically didn't exist and suddenly gets $2 billion awarded from the federal government. She has, why? And there are many such cases like that.
So basically, before the Doge team came along, it was the job of the Treasury to just basically cut the checks as fast as possible. No verification, no idea where they're going, no idea what they're going for necessarily. All they're doing is pushing the money out, right? And this is a whole culture they said they're trying to change, right? People didn't care. People didn't notice that, oh, there's a little error here. Oh, this seems a little bit fishy. Can we double check this, right? No one cared because they're getting paid not to care, right? And that's exactly what it seems like Elon Musk is saying, right? The people who complain the loudest at this point about Doge uncovering fraud, waste, and abuse seem to be the ones who are getting their pockets lined, right? Like the Stacey Abrams NGO, right? Somehow magically, right before Biden leaves, all of a sudden, hey, $1 billion to something that only received like a couple $100 during its total existence, right? How many of these can we find and shut down? But these are all clear examples of why the American people just don't trust the government, right? We just don't want to fund it further. These are our tax dollars and it's being wasted. Things that should be used on us to keep us safe, to make our lives better, and it's all being pissed away on people that are worthless. So thank you very much, Elon Musk and the Doge team, for doing this. And I'm so glad that Brett Baier put this together because we honestly need some answers at this point because the left is going crazy on their attack. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me.